Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I know it's dark, but it's 5:04 in the PM here in Chicago, Illinois. It gets dark pretty early. We're close to the winter solstice there, December 21st. But we got December the 11th, 2025 here. We'll head up Michigan Avenue. I think it's about like 25 degrees. I don't think it's much different than it was at lunchtime. Hey, thanks everybody that tuned in over lunchtime. We hung out with Scott G there. He surprised me, came out, was going to start in a good way. So I was going to come out and start my live stream. He was right there, and we walked around Millennium Park and Lakeshore East. And I think he took the train back out to Manuka there. Friend from Joliet, Manuka. He's friends with Grim Evil. They're online there. Another Grim Evil live streams from Joliet. That's great. So hey, thanks everybody for tuning in here. Mike, Jason, Wayne, Krista. Yeah, Krista and other people. I know I missed some people's comments. I apologize. At lunch, people were asking me questions about buildings, names, and stuff, and I didn't realize it until after the live stream was over. I was, again, it was great. I really enjoyed hanging out with Scott G there, but I was talking with him, so I missed a lot of comments because I was talking to the real person in real life. And thanks for understanding there. Here, we'll go DCG there. Yeah, Samuel. Chris the scanner guy. Yeah, how you doing there, Mike? Thanks everybody. If I miss anybody here, T-Lime, Tea Time. Beach, please. Yeah, let's go to the beach. It's not. We were at the beach this morning. We were at the icy beach. What does this say? Yeah, so we saw union activity out here this morning. I don't think the guys wanted me to film them, so they didn't know who I was with. I understand, but they were in the public. We might see people up at the Starbucks. We saw some people last night at the Starbucks out in front. We talked with them briefly. You can see it on the live. Hey, if you just joined, we're in Chicago, the Wrigley Billion Tribune. We'll head across Wacker Drive here. We're just going to check out the holiday lights. Here's Wacker, and there's tall Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago. Wrigley Building, John Hancock. There's Marine Towers. We'll head across Chicago River. So I'm just doing pretty much the same thing I did last night for the first 20 minutes. We'll go up Michigan Avenue. We'll go over to Oak Street. We'll film the lights. Michigan Avenue Christmas lights. I'm not for sure. I'm going to go up Wells Street. I want to see if the new Fresh Market's open. Not that I'm promoting a business. I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm just curious because that was the Dom's Market. Remember the Dom's Market on Wells that closed down 2 years ago when all the Foxtrots shut down throughout Chicago. Join in Chicago. This is the South Michigan Avenue Bridge, the Wrigley Building. So we'll go up Wells. We'll go up through. At least that's my plan. We'll go up through the Old Town there, and we'll see if the Fresh Market is open. If it is, I'll kind of walk you through the front, but I won't go through the whole store. It's just a grocery store. There's a Fresh Market already open. It's been open for over a year. The former Dom's up there, up by Diversey and Halstead. I know there was an Aldi that just opened on Huron, I think. It's in that building, parking garage for that residential building. Is it on Huron or? Yeah, I think it's on Huron. Or it's on Erie, Huron, or Superior. I think it's on Huron. So maybe we'll check that out someday too. Here's the, the snow's freezing, refreezing. We'll go past the Christmas tree. Scott G and I, we tried to get inside the Secret Santa, but it doesn't open until 8 o'clock. And I don't know much. People said it's expensive drinks, expensive food. It's not my jam there. It's not my jam. I kiss it on the lips. You like butter sausage? I'll turn into Nick Nolte or Steve what's his name? Gary Busey. I'll turn into Gary Busey. How could I confuse Nick Nolte with Gary Busey? I'm sure Nick Nolte's offended. Here's here, look at that. There's the Christmas tree, Pioneer Plaza here. Chicago, Illinois. You stream that, put it on Instagram, you get an prize there. There's Tribune Tower. Yeah, there's that Secret Santa. So if you want to go, you actually go through the old Equitable building. You go to the back over towards the University of Chicago, the Glacier Center there, whatever they call it. And you got to actually go through the bottom of the lobby there to get in there. I think it opens at 8 o'clock, the Secret Santa thing. Hey, Jack Brickhouse, how you doing there? Jack Brickhouse, the sportscaster. People waiting for the bus here across from the... Hey, how you doing? Thanks for saying hello. That's great. See friends and neighbors there. And, yeah. We hung out with Scott G at lunch. Hope he made it home okay there. We'll head up Michigan Avenue. We'll check out the lights here. Yeah. There's the new watch retail shop here in the Tribune building. There, look at the wreath. Look at the wreath on the Tribune there. Luxury residences. Yeah. So hey, we'll follow this Christmas trolley. Look, we'll follow this party. It's Thursday night. Thursday's the new Friday. Everybody partying up, happy hour somewhere. It's after 5 o'clock. Get the Christmas spirit. Yeah, Dolores is tuning in. ECG, Kiki. Tickets go up to $59.95. Man, that's expensive. Yeah, Kiki, thanks for the good information, but that's good. Subi, how you doing there? Stacy. Yeah, Jessica. Let's see who else is tuning in. Astronaut. Mike. Jake. Peppermoon. So here we're at Illinois Street, Illinois, Michigan Avenue. Here's the Intercontinental Hotel. Used to be the Medina Athletic Association there. One of our fellow Chicago live streamers just did a video on this. Very good job. Fellow urban planner there. Here's Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. We're here on Michigan. Hey, there goes the trolley. There's the holiday trolley. So hey, we'll see if we can keep pace with this thing. Yeah, how's it going there? Lambie T's tuning in there. Hey, Zeus. Hola. How's everybody doing here? Yeah, Allie? How are you? Let's see. Yeah, good evening there. Margie, how you doing? Yeah, let's check out the lights here. So if you just joined me, Chicago, 5:12 in the PM. Got about 25 degrees. I think it's supposed to warm up maybe to 40 degrees tomorrow. And then it's going to be really cold over the weekend. We might get a dump of snow. So enjoy the brief respite from the bitterly cold weather tomorrow. And we'll hunker down for the weekend. But hey, look at the lights on Michigan Avenue here, the Magnificent Mile, Chicago, Illinois. This is what the president calls the Miracle Mile, but that's in Los Angeles. We'll cut him some slack here. Here's the, hey, here's Christmas tree. Get your iris scanned. The government wants to use the iris to identify everybody, so I don't know if anybody wants to do that. Here's, yeah, we'll go down Michigan Avenue. We'll cross Ohio Street here. And, yeah, more snow on the way. You got it. Welcome to winter. Let's see if we can get across Ohio Street before the light change. Here's Aritzia here on Michigan Avenue, Ohio. There's another Aritzia. It's amazing how I was filming. Look at this. I'm filming the window displays. I was pointing and talking towards the window displays, and someone on the other side, I wasn't even. They covered their face. They covered their face, even though I'm filming the opposite direction. I'm just amazed that. You know, the people see a camera out, they start covering their face. It's because of the age of ice. That's what it shows you. It's having an impact on society. For me, it's not a good thing, but I know other people think it's the greatest thing on earth. Here's Michigan Avenue. Maybe they just don't like me. They heard my voice. I think I'll take personal responsibility and say it's my own fault. I'll try to be a more respectful live streamer here. So hey. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We'll head up Michigan Avenue. We're filming the holiday lights. We'll see if we see any Salvation Army bell ringers. Yeah.
I think that was the perfect...
They cover your face too. Hey, Lambie. Now I understand. It makes sense. Yeah. So I think there's... Pat sent me some good information. They're having all kinds of... You know, as my mother would say, you know... You know, like we do every time we do these heritage months. She's like, well, every month should be Native American Heritage Month, not just December. But I know the American Indian Center there up by Kimball on the Brown Line, if you take it all the way in. I remember when in Chicago, the American Indian Center used to be up by Uptown, and then they moved it temporarily to another location. Now they finally got their more permanent location. You go up the Brown Line, they're having a powwow, I think, on a holiday powwow on December the 18th here in Chicago. So I think that's in the middle of the week. I think it's on a Thursday. It's the same day as my company holiday party. I did not schedule those things. I would love to go up there, so we'll see if we can find a way to cover that perhaps, and if not, we'll get up there some other time. I just need to get I need to make some videos of the American Indian Center here in Chicago. Nice community center here. Not just because it's December, we could do it throughout the year. But here's, hey, there's Allerton Tip Top Tap. There's the top of the John Hancock. We're here on Michigan Avenue. Here we'll cross, yeah, here's the giant Starbucks. Yeah, there's some Union, there's some, there's some good friends out there, the Unions. We talked to those people yesterday. I'll stay on Michigan. We actually got inside the Murphy Memorial just briefly yesterday. Maybe I'll cut that out. I forgot about that. And here, so Chicago, Illinois, that's where we're at, 516. Got about 25 degrees Fahrenheit, -5 Celsius. We'll go past the Harry Potter here. Yeah, Pappy, how you doing there? Margie's tuning in. Yeah, Nia's tuning in. Nia Papaya. Yeah, thanks everybody. How you doing? Yeah, telephone. Yeah. There's the Harry Potter windows. There's the Harry Potter phone booth. There's the owls. They got the owls in the trees. Harry Potter owls. Yeah, how you doing there? There's the Patronus Stag. There's the Harry Potter Chicago. Yeah, people are in there getting their magic wands, their Christmas wands, their butter beer. Yeah, Zara. Ambi Hotel. Yeah, look, people are getting their butter beer. Harry Potter, very nice. Oh yeah, let's try to cross the street here. Merry Christmas, how you doing here? Yeah, we'll cross here. We're at, this is Erie in Michigan. We'll head up to, no, we're at Huron. Excuse me. We're at Huron in Michigan. See, we're cruising. Yeah. You got Zara in Japan? That's good. They're everywhere. Yeah, we got Uniqlo too here. Yeah, John is tuning in there. Scott, hey Scott G. Hey Scott G, hope you made it home okay. That's great. Thanks for hanging out at lunchtime there. You can watch the rerun there on YouTube. Yeah, Manuka. Joliet, thanks for tuning in there, Scott G and everybody else. See, you're in the archives there. Thanks for hanging out with Brian Riley Chicago. We walked around lunchtime there. You can check out the rerun on the live tab. And yeah, it was a good walk. We checked out some ice skating. Went up to the river. Went through that Lakeshore East. It was good hanging out with Scott G there. So hey, here's yeah, there's the One Chicago Tower. Here's the Peninsula Hotel. We'll go up the lights on Michigan Avenue. See, look, Scott, look at the lights at night here, Michigan Avenue. There's the top of the John Hancock. There's the Bloomingdale's, 900 North Michigan, the green lights there. Hey, there's a blue tree. See, this is our sister city, Osaka, Japan. They I think they have something to do with this. This seasonal displays in front of the Victoria's Secrets here on Michigan Avenue. How you doing? And yeah, Chicago's beautiful. Malta's tuning in. Hey, thanks for tuning in from Malta. That is great. Welcome to Chicago. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably warmer than Chicago, but that's what we get for being in the middle of a big North American landmass. Welcome to Siberia, C-H-I-Beria, Siberia. It's not Chirac, it's Siberia in wintertime. Hey, Ralph Lauren, Loyola University. Well, there's the water tower. Looks nice at Christmas time. Yeah, we'll check out the Christmas tree. Good evening. How you doing there? Oh, you're distracted by a crying toddler. Well, that happens. That's a good cause there. Tend to the toddler's needs there. That's good. Here's the Park Hyatt here. We got the light. We're crossing here Chicago Avenue. I hear a helicopter. I think there's a helicopter landing on one of the hospitals. Often a helicopter will come in and land on the Children's or Women's Hospital. Let's see. I hear it, but I can't see it. So I think it's coming. I think I'm hearing it echo off the building. So until I see it, I'm not going to film the sky there. There's the water tower, and there's the John Hancock. You hear the helicopter in the background. Chicago, Illinois. This is Jane Byrne Plaza. Chicago water tower survived the 1871 Great Chicago Fire. Was built in 1869. There's the pump house across the way. There's that beautiful tree. Look at that beautiful Christmas tree here in front of the water tower. Yeah, let's go over here and check it out. Tom Bot's tuning in there. Yeah, XRT fan. Thanks everybody. How you doing here? Look at the beautiful Christmas tree in the water tower. Yeah, we'll show you this new. We went by here yesterday near the water tower. See, there's that horse watering fountain. There's this Hotel Chocolat. We went into it yesterday. Maybe I'll piece together the footage from today and yesterday, and we'll put, not that I'm getting paid to promote this business, I'm just letting people know. This used to be where the Ghirardelli used to be. The Ghirardelli moved several years ago up to the Wrigley building, and then see Hotel Chocolat. We'll wait till the traffic clears out here. I'm amazed. Where's all these cars coming from? Here, let's cross here. So Hotel Chocolat, look at the cocoa tree there in the window. Yeah, how you doing here? The beautiful store here. I won't stay too long here. I will just get some more footage and we'll piece together a rerun here. Hotel Chocolat here. This is off of, I think this is Pearson. Or I'll correct it in the notes if I'm wrong. And just off of Michigan Avenue, just north of the water tower. Here you got the wall of chocolate, $8 each or 3 for 20. I got this nice seating area here. Oops, I almost knocked over the here. There's this nice area here. And look, they got the plants. This is the Hotel Chocolat. Look at all the plants here. And I'm sure you can look at the nice little penguins. You get your white chocolate penguins, your regular chocolate penguins. That'd make a nice gift there. Get a cute little penguin there. Very nice. Yeah, here's the wall of chocolate here. They got all that. They got all these boxes here. So hey, Hotel Chocolat's open here. Yeah, let's head over to go back to Michigan Avenue here. Hey, there's some pretty lights there. Yeah, that's cute. The penguins, you see that? Yeah, finally we went inside. Yeah, we went inside there yesterday. Yeah, don't worry, I'm wearing plenty of layers. Look, I'm all bundled up here. I got my nice boots on. These boots are made for walking. They're waterproof. I can walk in the wet water and stand in the water while I'm sitting there at the briny curb, get splashed on. Man, it's tragic. There was a 60-some-year-old woman that got hit by a truck, a big truck like that. At Chicago, it was at the intersection. The truck didn't clear off its windshield and had snow on its hood. It was real high. The woman had the right of way. The walk sign, she waited till the walk sign to the light. She started walking. The truck didn't see her because it had the big high hood. It was sitting up real high. It ran her over with both wheels. And I bet that guy wish he would have just took a little extra time to clear his windshield from the snow. The snow on the windshield, you know, very important. But the accidents happen. I hope she's okay. I don't know what the situation is. I saw the video, which is disturbing, and I'm not trying to disturb you. It's just I'm trying to admonish people to be careful, and I'll be careful too. Why do you think I let the cars, like this car, I'll let it go first? I'm like, I'll walk behind you. The same with this truck, you know. But here, let's cross the street here. Oh, look at all this traffic coming out. Here's the John Hancock. Maybe we won't walk across the street. There's so much traffic here. We'll just film the nice Christmas. Well, okay, now we got time to go across here, so we'll go across. We got time to make it here. This is Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Here, there's the water tower. Water Tower Place, American Girl Place. I crossed the street here because they got the beautiful Christmas tree here. We'll actually head down the stairs here. Hey, the big bus. You want to sit on the top of the big bus? You can sit outside in air conditioning. There's the 146. There's John Hancock. 875 North Michigan. It's 100 stories tall. The observation deck's on the 94th. Maybe instead of walking down the stairs, we'll just walk around the railing here and we'll film the tree here from above. So hey, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to the John Hancock. They got all these trees here. We'll just film this winter scene here. The mayor. Yeah, the mayor doesn't bother me as much as it seems that a lot of people outside of Chicago really dislike our mayor, and I understand that because of what he represents. I know I don't agree with everything the mayor says. I don't agree with anything any politician says, left or right, socialist or whatever. But, you know, I do commend him. He personally has been attacked from the federal level. Same with J.B. Pritzker. The president called for the arrest of J.B. Pritzker. Again, somebody asked me a political question, so somebody said, Top's talking about politics. I'm just answering, and I'm not going to divulge too much because no matter what I say, positive or negative, we're going to step on some toes, which is just the nature of our audience. We got people tuning in that their political views span the gamut. People know my views. Every time I say my views, so we get pushback, which is understandable. And you vote the way you vote. I vote the way I vote. Here, let's head across. Let's head across the Bloomingdale's. But hey, thanks for checking out the Christmas tree at the John Hancock here. We'll wait for the light to change. We'll eventually cross the street. We'll head down Oak Street past the pretty lights there. And see the tilt? Go up there. Top of the John Hancock. 875 North Michigan. Yeah, what's you smell what I'm cooking? What are you cooking? Cooking something good? Who would I vote for in the UK? That's an interesting question. Yeah, if I lived in the UK, okay, I'm pretty much an independent. I lean way further to the left than most independents do. I'm not libertarian, but I'm much more libertarian than most leftists in Chicago. Or don't call me a Democrat. I'm very angry at the Democratic Party, even though that doesn't mean I like the current president at all. And I guess if I might be like, if I had to vote for Labor, I would vote for Labor. But I don't know which way I would vote in UK. That's interesting. I have to think about that. So here, welcome to Chicago. Welcome to, we're crossing Michigan Avenue right here at Walton Street here. We're checking out the lights here. Cars breathing down my neck trying to make a left here. And there's the Drake Hotel. We got that video rerun. We timed it to the Shining music, so you can get some creepy Shining vibes. Check out the rerun of the interior of the Drake Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel, beautiful lobby. They had it decorated for Christmas. It's very seasonally appropriate video there, even with the Shining music. Here comes the big bus. Big bus making the left there. Yeah. Oh yeah, we got many open air Christmas markets. I filmed them all. I got reruns of the Christ Kindle Market. We went there last on did we go there yesterday? No, we went there Monday. Monday we went to the Christ Kindle Market. Jose was there last night. I'm sure he's got some nice rerun. And I'm sure all the Chicago live streamers have. I know Lux Chicago Vista, she was there. She caught Krampus in the snow globe. But there's also a Christ Kindle Market in Wrigley Field. We went there on Sunday. We went there the week before when the green and then there's a Christ Kindle Market in Aurora. I think some of the little there's other Christmas markets in the West Loop you got to pay to go to. I'm sure there's other Ernesto Chicago Nuggies filmed the one down in Archer Heights there, southwest side. There was a Christmas market. He saw the Grinch and Santa there. check out Ernie's page. There's Christmas markets all over the city. And here's Oak Street. This is Oak Street, Chicago, Illinois. We got 5:29 in the PM here. I'm heading home from work. People jogging. We're just left Michigan Avenues behind us. We're heading west on Oak Street, which is Chicago's Rodeo Drive, the boutique, high-end fashion shops and houses and jewelers. And Bravco Beauty, check out Bravco Beauty here. Esquire Theater used to be here. That's what that marquee is, but it's now offices, and they just kept the sign, which I'm glad they kept the sign. It's still lighted up. It makes the whole street look nice. I remember seeing movies in that thing. It shut down about 2008, 2009, I guess, the Great Recession. Here's Oak Street, Chicago, Illinois. Hey, the Bathing Ape. Richard Mille. Get your Rosny Jewelers here. There's a security guard in every window. Security guard in every window. Geneva Seal. They see me coming. The nice security guards in Prada, Omar used to wave at me. I saw him at the one. There's a Prada in the Nordstrom, and I saw him at the one here too. Look at the nice graph here, the beautiful garlands here. Oak Street here, the beautiful lights. Look at the Esquire Theater. Yeah, we're checking out the lights here. The crease. See how they kept the facade, and they built a glass in front of it. Look at that. Maybe that's all stage. Hey, Chanel number 5. Yeah, Chanel number 5. Get your Chanel dress. Get your pantaloons there. Look at that, nice slacks. Esquire Theater here, Oak Street, Chicago, Illinois, 25 degrees, 5:31 in the PM. So I live in Lincoln Park. I live near Clark and Fullerton. Usually we start and end our lives there. And I usually just walk from where I live in Lincoln Park to work. It's 3.5 miles. We go different routes. Sometimes we go 4.5 miles. I do go the south and west sides. Check out my reruns. Everybody's going to stereotype me. You know, if you need to look down on me to feel better about yourself, you're welcome to do it. I'm easy to make fun of. Do what you need to do to make yourself feel like you're superior to me. Boost your ego. Here's, yeah, Tory Burch. Shares a wall, Bravco. There's Michael. How you doing there, Michael? Yeah, see, he's working at the shop there. Bottega Veneta. How you doing there? Beautiful place here. There's, yeah. What do we got? Marc Jacobs. Beautiful Christmas lights here, Oak Street. Yeah, look at these lights. Look at the Esquire Theater. Yeah. Oops, hey, coming up from Florida. Yeah, just in time. Hopefully you're not flying in this weekend. Yeah, this weekend. I don't know when it's going to hit. Sunday. There's going to be. Hey, look there. I like the cute dog there. It's got the red. That's like the dog from the Grinch. Pulling the sleigh there. We're going to slay them. So hey, we'll cross Rush Street here. We'll head up. This is Oak Street here. Rush Street looking south. Rush Street looking north. We're heading up there towards the restaurants. Chicago, Illinois. United States of America, planet Earth. There's Prada. Devil Wears. There's Hermes. There's the Bloomingdale's 900 North Michigan. There's Cartier. There's Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono's at the Museum of Contemporary Art here. We'll cross the street here. We'll film the beautiful Oak Street lights here. Oak Street, Chicago, Illinois. Look at that. Thanks for tuning in here. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Yeah, I need a Tommy dog. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, so talking 0 to 4 degrees here and 2 to 4 inches of snow. A possible 2 to 4 inches of snow. Thanks for the good info there. Thanks, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Oh, you were going to do a carriage ride? Yeah, it might be cold for the horses. Well, hey, look at this car. Here's a Lamborghini. Wow, so Lamborghini's being valeted here in front of Hugo's Frog Bar. Here's a nice blue Lamborghini. I used to valet cars. I used to love when like a exotic car like this would pull up here. Here's the Gibsons. This is Gibson's. See, $16.99. You save a penny, $7, $17. Here's Gibson Steakhouse. Frank Sinatra used to hang out here sometimes. There's Lux Bar, Bellevue. There it is, Gibson Steak. There's the Tavern on Rush. Traffic's all backing up here. We'll get across the street. The light just changed here, so these cars are going to move. Yeah, they got some. Oh, they can't go anywhere. So this is called Victoria Anna. It's at the Mariano Park here. Got the mailbox. Oh, look at the festive mailbox. Merry Christmas. Get a letter from the North Pole. Yeah, there's Carmine's. Looks like maybe they're going to open it for New Year's. Maybe Carmine's will finally open for some holiday parties or something. Carmine's restaurant, it's been closed for nearly 2 years now. Over 2 years. They closed that in 2023. Completely tore down the building, building a new building. That's the On Cloud's been open for over a year, or about a year. I don't remember exactly when it opened. Yeah, it's interesting that most of the major cities, the larger cities throughout the United States, are all Democratic, especially the center cities. And isn't it interesting that's how the United States sorts itself? Even Houston, Texas, we're going to go to Texas, as red and as conservative as Texas is. Austin's a blue city. Houston itself has a Democratic mayor, last time I checked. And Dallas is much more liberal than the rest of the state. But, the suburbs are different. A lot of the suburbans are very conservative in Texas, or Republican or red, whatever you want to call it, the great divide of the United States. So people you almost vote by where you live. If you don't like Democratic policies, don't live in areas, and that strengthens the divide. If you imagine being a hardcore conservative and you live in Seattle or Chicago or Portland, you would hate it. It would just be, or if you were a liberal or a socialist and you lived in Utah or and these are all beautiful places. I'm not putting down Utah, or I don't know what's the most conservative states. It's just the way people sort it out. I've seen TikToks and Reels where people harass people coming from Colorado. They said, you can't get away with that here. You're in Utah. They actually say that, Go back to Colorado, you hippie. That's what they'll say, because a lot of people from California move to Colorado as well. But, hey, the ever-changing demographics of the United States. Our divide will live on. Here's welcome to Chicago. We're on State Street now, so I'm gonna angle over eventually to Wells Street. Yeah, we'll cross the street right here. It's the perfect time to cross the street. Hangy uppies around here. Here's State Street looking towards Rush Street. And there's Division Street at State here, Chicago, Illinois. We got 25 degrees and we got 5:38 in the PM. Thanks for your prayers there, John. I need all the help I can get. Or maybe you're talking to somebody else. Thanks for praying for whoever you're praying for there. Here's Sosa. The beach, yeah. We were at the beach this morning. So you're walking around the snow piles. Hey, there's the Chicago Tea House here, tea to go. Hey, that's nice fat tires there. That's a nice e-bike, delivery bike. Yeah, have you seen, I reposted some of those videos of the Cocos taking a tumble, people pulling it out of the snow. The one Coco, it tumbled down the stairs and it ended up back on its wheels. But then we wondered what was inside. If there was like a hot meal inside there, it all got spilled. Here comes an ambulance. We just turned on Division Street, Chicago, Illinois. Here it's going around this truck. So we'll watch it go through this intersection here. This is State Street, State and Division, Chicago, Illinois. Number 53 ambulance. There's Gold Coast Social Club here. Galleria, Garrie's Pizza. Hopsmith. There's shenanigans. We went inside Butch McGuire's. We talked to David. David gave us the great overview of the holiday train. It's for charity. It's for the Boys and Girls charity there. And you can check out the video. I can't remember it off the top of the head, but it's Butch McGuire's there. They got all the Christmas stuff. The lodge is decorated. Look at the lodge. Let's look in the window here. Here's the lodge. Here's a nice holiday. How you doing? Here's the holiday at the lodge here. Very nice. Get your Christmas spirit on there. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Brian Really Chicago. Hey, Merry Christmas. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, see, they're going to the lodge there. It's good. See, we're interacting with the crowd. Isn't this nice? See, let's just enjoy life and celebrate here. Let's we'll cross here at Division and Dearborn. Division and Dearborn, Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to head over to Wells. We'll see if this grocery store is open. Yeah, Jesus Christmas. My name is John Christmas. What was his name from Dumb and Dumber? His last name was Christmas. I forgot what his first name was. So, if you just joined, we're in Chicago. The place we just by was called The Lodge. It's a bar on Division Street across from Butch McGuire's in Chicago. It's on Division Street. And those were just people. See, Thursday's a new Friday. Hopefully they were coming out of happy hour, going to the bars there. They heard my voice. I got a radio face. How's oh, look at that. Yeah, we'll head over to Wells Street. I want to see if this new Fresh Market's finally open after the Doms closed down, when all those Foxtrots closed down. It's just nice to fill the empty void on the street. I'd rather it be something than nothing, same as this. Hopefully something will eventually go into this. I think people are waiting to the new year. So the time is 5:41 in the PM. What's the time where you're tuning in from? Please send your time and where you're tuning in from there. If you're tuning in from a different time zone, that's great. Yeah, people are trying to figure out if it's night or day. It gets dark really early in Chicago, so it's 5:42 in the PM here. We're at Clark and Division. There's a red line subway stop here. Clark and Division. There's a Jewel Osco. And see, here's the subway entrances on all four corners. And Clark Street, we got 8 seconds here to CVS. Here comes the 22 Clark bus. It's gonna go right through here. UK, thanks for tuning in from the UK. That's great. Liverpool, that's God. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. How you doing there? Yeah, the Butch McGuire's train. I got a rerun on it. Yeah, it's all for charity. And David gave us a great overview there. I ran into him before. He reminded me of it. It's amazing that, you know, I feel more connected to my fellow Chicagoans here all throughout the city because we do this, you know. That's what it's all about. Northside, how you doing there? Philippines, how you doing? Belgium, Winchester, UK, Canada. How's everybody doing here? Thanks for tuning in. That's great. Time to go to bed. Kentucky's tuning in. I missed that. Israel, Columbus, Georgia. Thanks, everybody. Yeah. Liverpool, England. Thanks, everybody. Michigan's tuning in. Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we've gone to both O Block, Parkway Gardens. We've gone to 63rd, 64th, 65th. I've gone to 73rd and Prairie Avenue. We filmed the Al Capone house, but yeah, you're right. It's only a mile. O Block's only a mile, as the crow flies, west of the Obama Presidential Library. We filmed that construction. We'll have to go back there. It was under construction earlier in the year when we were there last. Jackson Park. We went to the Japanese garden there, and we also went to the east side. We went down to 95th and Calumet Fisheries. We went to the church using the Blues Brothers, where James Brown said, "Do you see the light?" And where they lifted the bridge there, but the Bluesmobile jumped the bridge there at 95th, right in front of the Calumet Fisheries. So we just crossed LaSalle Street, Chicago, Illinois. We're gonna head over to Wells here. How you doing? And I want to see if this new Fresh Market's open. Yeah, we got 5:44 the PM, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, about -5 Celsius. And Hey, Colorado, mountain time. Yeah, you're only an hour behind, not bad. Is it getting dark already? Yeah, it gets dark here about 4:30. Australia, how you doing there? Da Nang, Vietnam, how you doing? Yeah, that's great. Thanks, everybody. So, I was born in Indiana, one state away. You're gonna ask? No, just don't ask for my mother's maiden name. I know every. But no, I was born in Indiana. I grew up in the country. I was a farm boy. I moved to Chicago in 1999. Now, before that, I was living in Cincinnati. I was living in near downtown Cincinnati, going to the University of Cincinnati. Before that, I lived in the farm fields with my parents in southeast Indiana, between Indianapolis and Cincinnati. Here's the Aldi. So here's the Aldi here. This is Division Wells. We'll head up here. We'll see if the here's a pet store here, Bentley's Pet, and there's an animal hospital here. Hey, the House of Glunts. The House of Glunts looks great. I want to really film that, but I want to stay on this side of the street, so I'll be lazy and we'll just film it some other time. We got all next week. Here, Animal Hospital, Old Town. There's the cute dog there. Yeah, the happy camper. There's some lights here. South Africa, I like the flag there. How you doing? Yeah, Grim Evil's tuning in. Mike? May's tuning in. May, look at all the people we had tuning in from the UK. There was several people. That's very nice. See, look what you got started. We're all connected here. England and America are two countries divided by a common language. Who said that? Winston Churchill. Or I'm paraphrasing, but you know, I'm close enough, right? Help me out. And you know I'm not from England. How did I get this outrageous hillbilly accent? It's awesome. I like it. My Chicago mush mouth here. So here, yeah, we're on Wells Street. There's Declan's Pub. Hey, they got the snowplow. They're ready for this weekend. Here it is, the Fresh Market. So here, welcome to Old Town. Welcome to Wells Street. Remember when this was Dom's Market? See, we're across from Declan's Irish Pub. We're at Scott and Wells. We're just, oops, go ahead. We're just north of Division Street. Here's the Fresh Market. So it's back open. Let's give it a try here. I'm not gonna, I'll just kind of walk through here like I'm shopping. Here we go. Yeah, so just like Dom's, they got a place you can eat here in the front. They got a coffee and bar. They got the drinks to go. Yeah, they got a nice coffee place here. Places to sit. Remember they had this when it was Dom's. And here, look, they got the whole counter meat market. See wine glasses. So it's a regular grocery store here. And hey, I'm so glad it's back open. This is called the Fresh Market. It used to be the Dom's. And we'll see if we can start line here. We'll see if we can exit. I'm not buying anything. We'll go past security. Tell them that we're back open. How you doing? There. And I'm glad it's back open here. This is the Fresh Market, Old Town, Chicago. It's right on Wells Street. They got a second level? Let's see if they got a second level. That goes up to the parking probably here. So I'm checking this out. I'm not for sure how this whole thing works here. They got, I guess you can enter that way. And I think that goes up to the parking. Let's try this out. I never tried this before. Let's see if this goes up to the parking here. Tennessee, how you doing there? Yeah, the Fresh Market is back open. You want to look at the bakery? Okay, we can go back. I really don't like it when people ask me to do stuff in the chat. I like having my autonomy, and I don't want to feel like I'm a pay-per-view, you know, gigolo here. But yeah, we'll check out the bakery soon enough. It's like a grocery bakery, you know. I'm trying to get home from work here. I appreciate it. Here, yeah, so we can get up to the parking lot here. I'm already wasting enough time doing this. But hey, yeah, we'll check out the bakery sometime. We'll come back here. Old Town, Chicago Fresh Market. Here it is. I don't know why, for some reason, it's just a pet peeve of mine. I'm an arrogant American. I don't like, even when it's like, even when I would get like extra views, you might be a paid subscriber. I know, I appreciate your patronage. You know, that even cheapens it more, where I feel like I'm taking people's money to do what they want. Here's the Christmas tree. But hey, let's head out of here. Well, we'll head out of the. I get kind of everybody shopping in there. They don't need a live streamer going to the baked goods. They just want to shop and not be filmed. So here I'm more sensitive to it in the age of ice here. Ice is ruining my gig here. So usually it's about 3.5 miles. I walk about 20,000 steps a day. Today we walked about 3.5 miles. We walked 4 miles this morning because we went to the lakefront. I tried to catch the sunrise, but maybe we'll try to catch it tomorrow. We didn't get it this morning, but it was cloudy. But it's about 3.5 miles. But it'll be probably closer to 4 the way I'm going tonight. And this will be about 20,000 steps, 10 miles. At lunchtime we walked through. We did at least 2 miles there with Scott G. We walked with Scott G and went through Millennium Park, the ice skating, Maggie Daly ice skating ribbon, and we went up to the river. Hey Wes, you can watch the rerun there. We went to the Fresh Market. The Fresh Market's open on Wells Street. Remember that was Dom's Market. It shut down when all the Foxtrots shut down. It's back open. I'll make a rerun. Just watch the rerun, give a like. Give me a thumbs up or whatever. Give me a thumbs up on this YouTube, everybody. How you doing there? Appreciate it. Welcome to Chicago. We're heading up Wells Street. And you don't have to. It's just a suggestion. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't like people telling me what to do. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Hope I earned it here. Here's, the garden center here. Yeah, all the trees are gone. I saw some people with trees on their cars earlier. Hey, look at this. 400 million sheets of rice masks sold. Beauty, K-Beauty. Osaka. Maybe you said the beauty. It's not open yet, so there's gonna be, let's film this. Does anybody know what this is? We're on Wells Street here in Chicago. It's called Osaka Ebisu Lifestyle. J Beauty and K Beauty. Is that Japan Beauty and Korean Beauty? I'll look into this. Osaka. Yeah, I think that's what that is. There's a new store opening here on Wells Street, so when we'll check that out once it opens there. It's 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's about -5 Celsius. Thankfully, it's not that windy. It's supposed to get a little warmer tomorrow. I think we're going to get above freezing, and then it's going to get really bone-chilling cold and potential for snow, which is, it's rare for it to get cold and snow, but it might happen this weekend. Usually it snows and then it gets cold, but maybe that's what's happening as the front blows through. Here's Small Cheval. There's the Small Cheval here, and it's closed for today, for tonight, Thursday. Huh. Yeah, we went to the Kris Kringle. We went to the Kris Kringle about 6 times. Please check out the reruns there. I'm walking home from work. Thanks for asking. Here's the Cobbler Square. It used to be Dr. Scholl's. Hey, the cute dog's there. What are you doing there? Hey, I like the collar. It had the festive collar. It was green lights on the collar. But here we're on Wells Street, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, we got 5:53 in the p.m. here, Central Time Zone, North America. 2 to 4 inches. Oh, you're getting 2 to 4 inches in Kentucky, Scott. Wow. Yeah, it's wintertime. Welcome to winter. See, you're going to join us here. You have a nice, hopefully it'll last to Christmas there. Here's Orso's. There's the L train there. So, hey, well, it looks like a festive time up here. Orso's Italian Ristorante here. Look at this Christmas scene. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing? Sorry. And they were going to go in the door there. I thought they kept walking towards me. They were trying to get in the door there. I'm not used to people walking towards the Kramer, but they were trying to get to the door there. Here's Orso's. Northern Italian cuisine here. We're on Wells Street, Chicago, Illinois, Old Town. Yeah, look at this fine dining here. Yeah, go to Orso's here, Old Town. That's the Dora. Mexico, how you doing there? Hola, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We're heading near the Gaslight Court, Old Town. Look at that nice cobblestone. We got the Old Jerusalem restaurant here. Nice deli here. We got Jenny's ice cream. Yeah, scooping out the flavors. See, I'm just a I'm just a sucker for capitalism. I'm just giving all these stores a free commercial as we walk by. So I'm so glad this is back open. This is called the Scout. This used to be the poorhouse, and now it's, you know, it's the same thing. This huge bar here on Wells Street. At least something's better than nothing. El Scout. Margie's starving. Osaka is a beauty store opening late 2025. Hey, thanks Chicago Toxic Donut. Thanks for the good info. Yeah, that looks like a fun, interesting store. We went down to Chinatown late in the fall there, and there was a K-pop dance-off. We got the rerun. I'm not making any money off that video, but nor do I care to, because the copyrights of the copyrighted songs, but it's a great video to watch. And then we walk through Wentworth. We go through the new Chinatown, with that Chinatown Square where they had the dance-off. And then we walked through, it was at nighttime, we went under the Chinatown gate, Wentworth. Beautiful scene there. So check it out. I think that was around into September, beginning of October when we went down there. And I was standing in the crowd, and there was a nice woman, and she was streaming on the Chinese TikTok. And she goes, look, I got the Chinese TikTok on my phone, which there's a Chinese network, and then there's the American network, and I don't know how she was able to do it from America, because I remember when the Hong Kong riots were going on, the unrest in Hong Kong was going on. Does anybody remember that? And I would try to send messages. I had friends that were expats living over there, and the messages wouldn't go through. They couldn't see my videos, and I couldn't see theirs because they're on a different network. And she goes, I got the Chinese TikTok. I said, good. And she was streaming the K-pop, and she was nice. We talked a little bit. But here's the and I don't know if that's even possible. I just took her word for it. Here's the snowmen here at the Christmas tree in Old Town, Burton Place, across from the fireplace. Hey, we remember when we saw they lit this thing. Santa came to town. We heard the carolers. Yeah, it's called Chicago, Old Town. Where are you at? Where are you at? Tell me now. There it is. Oops, I'm losing my tissue here. But hey, I'm glad that. Yeah, see, I grunt like an old man when I bend over. Once you get to like, close to 50 there, anytime you drop something, you're like, oh crap. You're like, my big gut. Here's the frame Hamlet here, Old Town. Or Topo Gigio restaurant. Margie's gonna open her own restaurant. There you go. Tenement Square. Yeah, decorations. We'll see if we see any more decorations. Oh, maybe it's Redbook. Yeah, maybe she was just on Redbook. I know, like Jennifer You Should Eat. She was on Redbook when we thought the TikTok was going to get banned. She still might be. Oh, I don't know if anybody's on Substack. Apparently I started a Substack in 2020, posted one article and didn't do anything for the next 5 years and forgot about it. And I reopened my Substack, and I finally linked it to my YouTube and TikTok, and I'm able to now post reruns to Substack and do blogs and write stuff. So I'm gonna start messing with it, see if it's any good. You can live stream from Substack, but guess what? I need 10 followers. So if 10 people could find my Substack and give me a follow there, it's Brian Really Chicago Substack there. Brian Really Chicago on Substack. We can mess with live streaming on Substack. I don't know if anybody live streams on Substack. I know Dan out in New York City streams on Twitch. We try Substack. We'll be the first most prolific live streamer on Substack. Let's do it. Yeah, Instagram. Yeah, see, I'm on Instagram, but I only got like 500 followers, which is fine. I kind of archive stuff there. Here's there's Zany's. There's Old Town. Sunday wind chill. Yeah, I don't think I'll be live streaming that day. Maybe I'll do it just for the lakes. I'll bundle up and go out to the lake. We'll do a polar plunge. But hey, if you just joined me, Chicago, we're at North and Wells. And let's see here. Which way do we want to go? We'll cross the street here. There's the Foxtrot's been back open, Wells Street looking south. There's the Second City. And we're always here. Go through quite often. Yeah, the polar plunge. Yeah, we got, I'm sure in January, last year they had it around into January, they had the polar plunge. And yeah, it's the United States of America, planet Earth. How you doing here? Chicago, Illinois. We're at North and Wells, Old Town. We got 25 degrees. We got 6 o'clock on the dot in the PM, 1800 hours military time, or the normal world time there. And south of downtown, north to the duck house. There's the 72 Clark bus. Yeah, Grandma's Corner. Oh, sorry, go trading too. And so here we're crossing North Avenue, Second City. That used to be the theater entrance, but then the historic entrance is over here. The Louis Sullivan salvaged theater, the Garrick Theater put on the Second City. Yeah, we filmed that yesterday. We crossed the street. I'm not crossing the street today. There's a nice Cochran's Christmas decorations here. Wells Street, North and North, Old Town Triangle, Utopian Tailgate. 1608 North Wells. Hey, Professor Pizza. Jennifer, you should eat, recommends it. Professor Pizza, try it out. There's Cochran's Pub. Yeah, you'll see. You saw what happened today. One golden Nubian. I came out of work. I was going to start my live stream. I didn't even start streaming. Scott G, he found me. He said, hey. He said, you know who I am? I said, yeah. He goes, no, you don't. He's right. That was the first time I met him. But I do that just because I'm like, I was afraid I met him before and forgot about it. But I remember Scott G from in the chat. That's the first time we met in person. And he's from Manuka there. And we came in, he was downtown. He was visiting the checkup there, and he was downtown. And he just walked with me. We just walked. We just walked around the Millennium Park, the ice skating. You know, I'm easy to find. You just got to get to where I'm at. I don't like it when people are like, go to this place at a certain time and I'll meet you there. That just creeps me out. I don't think anybody would like that, especially a woman. You don't date men that way. You know, stand on the corner there at a certain time. You know, I don't think anybody would treat me that way. But you know, there's a little lag time. You know, sometimes I remember when I was first streaming in 2023, it was a big game of like, where's Waldo? People would try to find me, and they would tail me, and they would try to run and catch me, and you know, it was people would follow me in the parking garages and stuff. It was weird. I didn't understand it, but such is life. No, I wasn't ice skating. We were filming people ice skating. There's a walkway where you can film it from it being adjacent to it. It's the Maggie Daily ice skating ribbon. Best way to understand what I'm talking about is to go to my YouTube page and go to the last streamed live before this one. It'll say Chicago Streetwalking noontime on December the 11th, 2025. And you'll be able to see, if you watch it about 20 minutes in, we're at the Maggie Daily ice skating ribbon. It's a track. It goes up and down. It has a little gradient to it, like there's like hills to it, like you're like sloping. That freaks me. You have to hold on to the railing because you will pick up speed, and you got to go up a hill. It's a very slight ice skating hill. The people from the Netherlands would love it, you know, because they ice skate on the canals in Amsterdam and Rotterdam and stuff. Here's so if you just joined me in Chicago, we're on Eugenie Street, just west of Wells. Here's the 3 workmen's cottages here, and this is the house with the ducks. The ducks were out, was that last night, I think. And look at the beautiful Christmas lights. These buildings go back to the 1870s. And look, the ducks are not out tonight because the pond's starting to freeze over. See, the pond's starting to freeze over. So when that pond freezes over, the ducks got a place to go inside as people take good care of the ducks. So if you watched the rerun from last night, if you want to see the ducks. Look at that, Better Homes and Gardens. Look at that workman's cottage there. Look at the nice lights here. Good job. Yeah, there's Olaf. So we went up Crilly Court last night. We'll go all the way to Cleveland Street. Yeah, let's go. How's my battery doing? 70%. We're doing great. So hey, thanks everybody. We'll clip out that Fresh Market. So a lot of times, Pissy, I think by ordinance you're supposed to do it, but it's not strictly enforced. But this was all shoveled at one point, and then we got some rain yesterday, which melted some of it, and the snow was actually higher earlier in the week. But we still got these mounds here, and we're on Eugenie Street at North Park here. This is the Old Town Triangle. We're walking up to Lincoln Park, Chicago. I'm walking home from work here. We got 6:05 in the PM, about 25 degrees. So I think there's a good view to the Sears Tower here. We'll wait till this car blows through. And hey, there's the sand on the roof over there. Good, let's go. So here, if you look down here, I think there's a nice view to the, yeah, it's right in the trees there. Okay, good. So here we'll cross
but I'll give you that.
North Park or Eugenie. We'll head towards the Twin Acres here. It looks like the Twin Acres got some lights. Nice housing here, Old Town Triangle. Yeah, it looks cold because it is cold, but you know, you deal with the heat better than I do, and I'm deal with the cold better than you do. It's all relative. And it'd be funny because yeah, we're gonna plan to take a trip to Texas in the month, and hopefully get down to Galveston, you know, and as long as it's like 60 degrees, I'll be happy. I don't have to swim. You know, 60 degrees is shorts weather for me in the wintertime. See some palm trees down there by the Gulf Coast there. Here's the yellow house. We're on Eugenie Street. We'll start calling this Lincoln Park, even though we're technically in the Old Town Triangle. Hey, there's the mound. One time in my drinking days, I woke up in a snowdrift. That was a fun night. Yeah, vive Ukraine. Thanks for tuning in to Ukraine. Newark. Yeah, welcome to Miami, Florida. Yeah, these are the white sands beaches of Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, how you doing? Clarence, how you doing there? Yeah, Clarence the Angel. Every time a bell rings, I can't say it right. Zuzu's pedals. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. Oh, Clarence the Angel in A Wonderful Life. He's like 250 years old or whatever. He knew Mark Twain. He got George Bailey helped him get his wings. He did his good deed there. There's and you know, think about that movie. What's the meaning behind the movie? He says any man with friends is wealthy, and see, you know, you can have great monetary wealth, and nobody likes you. Or I'd rather have a bunch of friends and be poor because we could still pool our resources and have a good time. You know, as long as we're, you know, got enough to get along. I know I don't mean to be got all Buddhist on you, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So here's where's the Big Lebowski when you need him? But here's Chicago. We're on Eugenie here. We'll head over to Cleveland. Heading home here. And yeah, camel. Can't. The eye of the needle there. The rich man proverb there in the New Testament. Baby, you're a rich man too. You keep all your money in a big brown bag. Something in the zoo. What a thing to do. So we need some more Sgt. Pepper. It's only Hearts Club Band albums. Some psychedelic themes. Get all deep on you. Tomorrow never knows. Here's That would be something Ringo would say. They just took something that Ringo would say to. It's like Yogi Berra. So, hey, what are we missing here? Wes, Margie, D. Michael telling jokes. Here's yeah, let's head up. Here it is. Let's cross the street once this car comes. There's always a car coming there. The Sears Tower has blue lights tonight. I think Hanukkah starts this weekend. So look at that beautiful turret there. We're at what is this? Hudson and Eugenie. Yeah, here's this nice window here. Walter Nesh. Look at his. Yeah, Walter Nesh. Here's St. Michael's Church here in Old Town. They say if you can hear the bells, St. Michael's, you're in Old Town. See, St. Michael's in Old Town, Chicago, Illinois. We're near Lincoln Park here. We'll head up Cleveland Street. It's very slippery here. Hold on. And we'll go back. St. Michael the Archangel. This is where we saw the pug party, the grumble. All those Frenchies running around. Hey, St. Michael's looking good. Bells chime at 6:15. We got 6:11. Here's St. Michael the Archangel. Pizza Lisa tuning in. Who else is tuning in here? Or you just want some pizza? That's what you're saying. But yeah, we've gone inside this church. We got reruns. Let's see what's going on here. Christmas in Old Town. December 24th, 5 p.m. Mass. December 25th, 12 a.m. 12 a.m. midnight Mass. December 25th, 10 a.m. There you go. St. Michael's in Old Town. There it is. They got the red and green clocks. Hey, there's some lights here on Cleveland. Let's see what's up this way. So, hey, Chicago, Illinois. United States of America, planet Earth. Indonesia, how you doing there? Yeah, it's a beautiful church. Hey, Connecticut's tuning in. Yeah, Indonesia. It's already morning. Yeah, you're already into Happy Friday in Indonesia. Yeah, we're in Thursday here in Chicago. What's shaking? The Parish Center. Oh, the old church tower in the fog with the seagulls. I bet that was memorable. Yeah, make a movie out of that. So there's an empty lot here. I think it's, yeah, that's that same lot where they had the pug party. We're heading up Cleveland Street. I guess the church owns that. Yeah, the snow. Yeah, if you don't like the winter, yeah, you know, coming to summertime, it would be hard to live in Chicago if you didn't like the snow. But we didn't get much snow the past 3 winters, but this winter we're finally, I told you we were due for an old time Chicago winter, and so far we're getting it. There's, which is fine with me. It's great for live streaming because every time it snows, people tune in. Here's, we got a lot of great Chicago live streamers covered. Give you total coverage, just like we're the Weather Channel. The Weather Channel used some of my footage. They said, "Can we use your footage?" I said, "Yeah." And it did. It went viral. Here's the Christmas tree. This is Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Almost got hit by a branch in the eye there. Right in my eye. Yeah, stay well. What's shaking here? Kelly Quinn, how you doing there? Tombot, yeah. Grandma's Corner. Well, hey, thanks for keeping me company here on my walk home from work. What time we got? 6:13. Hey, I think we're making good time. It's not too bad. We'll get home by 6:30 here. I know I say here a lot. It drives people nuts. When you talk as much as I do, you end up saying, get lazy and say and here and filler words. Probably the most truthful statement anybody's ever put in the comment scroll was, "This guy just likes to hear himself talk." And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And most of the other time I'm pretty quiet, except for people at work. I'm complaining all the time. There, Menominee in Cleveland. There it is. Look at that. Menominee, Cleveland, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Happy 25 degrees. Playing in the snow. Mary Trees tuning in. Great. How you doing, Mary Trees? Francisco. Yeah, it's a nice town here. It's our kind of town. Big giant town, Chicago. Yeah, people are always like, there's hardly any people on the street. I said, we're just a big giant town. Everybody's home. Everybody's outside. It's cold. Here's hey, look at that. There's nice housing here, Cleveland Street. There it is. See that steeple? Bells of St. Michael's, 6:15. Dog's barking at me. Yeah, we got the baby Yoda with the blue head. You got the Nutcracker. Oh, Yoda. Is that the regular Yoda? That's the regular Yoda. That's the baby Yoda with the candy cane. Here's the dragon. Okay, yeah, we saw this dragon. So here's the dragon. Looks nice with the lights here. This is Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Very nice. Yeah, I got the Nutcrackers. Got the lights going up there. There's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's going up the windows. Got the gifts. Nice tree there in the front room. Yeah, look across the street there. Let's film the garland there. So, hey, now we're seeing Cleveland streets has some Christmas lights. So far, the streets I like the most in Lincoln Park are Burling. Burling has the house with the Christmas tree in every window. We got reruns. Fremont Street is a nice, several blocks along Fremont Street. Dayton Street has some good Christmas decorations, as does Cleveland Street. Orchard Street has a few. And I'm missing some. There's some other nice streets with Christmas decoration. We went up Astor Street earlier in the week. They had some. It's in the Gold Coast, but we're in Lincoln Park here. Just filming the. How you doing there? Yeah. Nice garland here. I like it. Yeah. Got the little orbs in the trees across the way there. New York. Crappy cars there. Yeah, I feel blessed to live in the city all seasons. You know, I like the different seasons. We get a real fall, we get a real winter, we get a hot summer. Spring, it always comes too late. Spring could last. I wish spring would last a little longer. Or come earlier. That's the kicker. You're in April and it's still snowing. Here's the sometimes here's the wreath here. Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Yeah, look at the lights here. The bells, yeah. Yeah, which house do you want? No, I live in an apartment, so yeah. I live in an apartment building. We'll head up to Wisconsin and Cleveland Street. We're almost up to Armitage here. Spider-Man is not working for Santa. Yeah, maybe Spider-Man was coming out of the house with the gifts. Yeah, it was a nice. I'm sure someone's probably tried that, to do a bank heist in a Spider-Man costume. You know, you have to call the cops. We got robbed. Somebody in a Spider-Man mask. It's not a superhero. It's an evil villain impersonation. It's the Bizarro world. The evil Spider-Man. Yeah. Venom. Was that Venom? What was that? Yeah. Poison. Yeah, Poison. Yeah, this girl is Poison. On my original account, there's a few videos. If any of you have been around for my original account on TikTok, there's a few videos that I still remember that I lament that I didn't back up, that we lost, and I'm sure they're probably on the TikTok server. I requested them. They won't give them to me. One is there was the guy, and we've seen this guy after this. There's a guy dressed up in a Spider-Man costume, and he plays the drums. And he was in front of the Cultural Center, and he was playing This Girl Is Poison, and he did it great in the Spider-Man costume. And then the other one was the pirate we saw in Spring, Texas. He was wearing a whiplash thing around his neck, and He had a pirate hat on. And he was just walking down the street. He goes, what are you doing? Are you a First Amendment social justice warrior? I was like, no, I'm just live streaming here. I'm from Chicago. He's like, oh! He started like, we had a good old time. Here we go. So, there, let's cross the street. It looks like there's some Christmas decorations. Here's, so hey, if you just joined, we're in Chicago, Lincoln Park. We're on Cleveland Street. We got 6:19 in the p.m. I'm heading home from work, 25 degrees. And yeah, this is beautiful historic housing. And here we'll show this Italianate. Some of these go back to the 1880s. Of course, all after the Great Chicago Fire, but this whole area was destroyed except for a few houses that we point out. And look at the garland here. This house is just classic Better Homes and Gardens. Look at that. They got a wreath in every window, even the top ones. You got the nice, beautifully manicured trees here. You got the garland and the architecture. Look at that. I almost want to, let me get out. I can get out. There's an empty spot here. This is great. We can get kind of out in the street here without getting run over unless somebody pulls in this spot. There it is. Look at that. Hey, there's your Christmas house. Here's your Lincoln Park Christmas house. Look how beautiful that is. This is Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. I think I'm going to cut this out. Look at that. I like, it's just the historical nature of this building, the classic garland with the lights here and the wreaths. And the lighting, the nice building lighting. This one's nice too as well, this more modernist one. There you got the Nutcracker here, 1900 block of Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. I walk through all the time because this is all my way home from work. And here we'll just, it's easy and convenient for me to film this as I'm walking home here. Here's, yeah, look at that. Yeah, the white lights there. Scotland, how you doing there? Thank you. Thanks for the compliment. Yeah, I got a radio voice and a radio face. I don't even use reverb. It'd be like cheating like Howard Stern. They would pump up so much reverb that he sounded sexy. And then you saw him, you're like, no. I'm like Howard Stern. I got a radio face here. But here's, and don't think I'm putting myself down. I'm really a vain person. You know, people see through my charade. They said, oh, this guy doesn't have social anxiety. He's a narcissist. I said, yeah, I should be a politician. Here's Armitage and Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're heading home from work here. We got 6:22 in the p.m., 25 degrees. And yeah, we got snow. We're going to get more snow too. It's going to get cold, but not until this weekend. Here, Armitage, here comes the Tesla. Tell that it's like we're living in the future, man. Looks like the Cybertruck, or no, it's not a Cybertruck. It looks like the RoboCop lights there. It's funny, you go back to the 80s movies and it's like what they thought the future would look like looks junky now. You know, they couldn't. It's messed up. The 70s futuristic movies are even worse, except for Star Wars. Here's which is not, it was a long time, it was a long time ago, far away, so Star Wars actually took place in the past. It wasn't in the future. That's why it's like a Western. Here's hey, thanks for tuning in here. Just tune in. We're in Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. I'm almost home from work here. We're north of Armitage. We're almost up to the 6-way intersection of Lincoln, Dickens, in Cleveland, in Chicago. I know it's confusing. We're north of North Avenue and we're east of Western. We're south of Northwestern University. We're west of the lake. And that's why Lincoln Park West is such a confusing street, because it's on the east side of Lincoln Park, but it's on the west side of Lincoln Park, the park, but it's on the east side of Lincoln Park, the neighborhood. It's actually the dividing line. Yeah, most of Chicago's neighborhoods are named after parks. You got Humboldt Park, Garfield Park, Lincoln Park, Washington Park. Jackson Park, interestingly, is Woodlawn. Where's Jackson Park? South Shore. Of course, there's no neighborhood called Grant Park. That's interesting. It's downtown the Loop. But McKinley Park. We got a lot of parks. I'm leaving some out. I know. Did I say Humboldt Park, Douglas Park? There's no neighborhood at Douglas Park. Then there's all the suburbs. There's Oak Park, Oak Brook, Forest Park, Forest Grove, Lake Forest. Becomes like a word game, word salad, where you could probably cycle through half the suburbs in Chicago by the first last word leading into the next suburb. Yeah, where have you been? We filmed some groovy Christmas lights. We're just going through a dark patch here. We're just heading up to six-way intersection of Lincoln, Cleveland, and Dickens here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got plenty of reruns, and you can rewind this and see the Michigan Avenue lights, the Oak Street lights. There's no excuse. All the content's right there at your fingertips. Just a little effort here. We'll cross the street here. How you doing? Hey, look at that nice pretty dog there. So, yeah, here's this park, Gnome Hall, Lincoln Avenue. Yeah, Polish friends, how you doing there? Chicago has a huge Polish American population, even out in the suburbs too as well. Here's the Gnome Hall. Look how slippery this well, see, this is a city property and no one cleaned it and it's all messed up. Here's the Gnome Hall, the little gnome library. Oh, I'm always afraid a squirrel's gonna jump out there. See any books you like? I can't resist. How to Love Your Daughter, a novel by Hila Bloom. I'll give that to the president. There we go. Here, across the street here, here's Lincoln Street. Crossing Lincoln Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. There's the Lincoln Hotel Lincoln. DePaul University's up that way. I'm heading home from work. That's why I'm always here in this neighborhood. People are like, get out of Lincoln Park. We're so tired of Lincoln Park. Nobody likes Lincoln Park. That's why I live here. Here's hey, that's a nice modernist tree there. Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We got 25 degrees, 6:27 in the p.m. Yeah, I could have salted it. You're right. Yeah, I know that. That's why. Remember what I said. All these nice people cleared their sidewalks or paid somebody to clear it, which is great. I'm glad they did it. That was a city park there, and no one cleared it. They didn't get to it. And then it rained on it, melted the snow, refroze overnight. Now it's an uneven, slippery mess. You're slipping and sliding and falling into grooves, and Coco can't drive over that. Coco will slip off. There's a petition to get them to stop the amount of Cocos because they're afraid they're taking up too much of the sidewalk in certain areas, but we'll see how that goes. Here's Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Here's some nice garland. There's your Better Homes and Gardens. There's the tree in the window. Look at that. Nice French room. There we go. Look across the way. We got some trees in the window. Cleveland Street. RJ Grunts. Yeah, I like RJ Grunts. We went by there last night. We won't go by there tonight. I'm a few blocks over. But yeah, RJ Grunts. First, let us entertain you restaurant. Yeah, thankfully it hasn't been that windy. Wait till this weekend. I hear we're supposed to get wind chills and it's supposed to get cold. But yeah, thankfully today, and we even walked by the lake this morning. There were some waves on the lake, but it wasn't as windy as it could have been. It's hit and miss. It got windy a few days ago when that rain flew through, but it was in the middle of the night. Here's Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We're almost home. We got one more block. So hey, thanks mods. This is a great live here. Thanks everybody for being so chill, cutting me some slack and just going with the flow here, checking out the Christmas decorations here. And a beautiful night. Yeah, I'm glad we got to this, but so we got my battery, got 53%. This is one of the, it's just simple garlands with the lights. The beautiful house there decorated. We'll show it. There it is. So this is at, see you got the trees down there. This is at Webster and Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. But we'll go through here. There it is. Look at the beautiful garland, the greenhouse here. Or is it blue? Is it blue? I can't tell. My rods and cones are all messed up here. Yeah, look at this beautiful Christmas lights here. Nice porch. Yeah, let's do the whole thing here. We're almost home here. And it looks nice in the snow. Yeah, it's a very friendly community there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we like it here. Look at that. Look at the nice Christmas lights here at Cleveland Street at Webster, Lincoln Park, Chicago. 25 degrees. 6:30 of the p.m. Look at that nice garland there. The nice bows. Better Homes and Gardens here. Look at the snow. Come on. This is a picture postcard here. Hope you're snug as a bug as a rug. Warm where you're at. Just watching the warm glow of these lights. Look, this is great. Look at the classic porch here. Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Check out these lights. This makes my job easy. We can film this beautiful porch here. There's the Christmas tree in the window. Yeah. What do we got? December the 11th, 2025. 25 degrees, not bad at all. Yeah, look at that nice scene there. Look at all these people decorate here. Cleveland Street. There's this yellow sculpture. Yeah, they got the gas light there. 2200 block. Cleveland Street. Yeah, we'll go up to Grant here. Yeah, the huge Great Lakes. That water's going to be worth more than oil one day. You can't drink oil. We got Great Lakes, freshwater. People are amazed when often I'll be live streaming at Lake Michigan and they'll be like, what's that? And I said, it's Lake Michigan. So we didn't know there was a big lake. It looks like an ocean. I said, it's all fresh water. They're like, no way. And I said, there's 5 of them. It's not even the largest Great Lake, And we share it with Canada, except for Michigan's the only one that's including the United States. We share the rest of the 4 with Canada. And here, I'm talking too loud here. Here's Grant and Cleveland Street here, Lincoln Park, Chicago. We'll head through here. Yeah, it hasn't been too windy. Yeah, you get sick. Depends on what type of oil. Vegetable oil, Wesson, Olestra. Hey, there's the blue circle. So hey, there's nice housing here. I'm going to start wrapping this up. Thanks mods there. Thanks everybody else. Thanks for the gifts, likes, follows. We'll, hey, check out. I'm going to start messing with Substack. Brian Really Chicago there on Substack. And I can post YouTube videos there. I can post TikToks there. We can write blogs. That's the problem with TikTok. I could write about the Melungeons there. I can write my book of the Melungeons there. That's what I'll do. I'll do it like, what do they call that? Correspondence style. Just little bits and pieces we'll piece together. But here we're up to Belden Street. Belden and Cleveland Street. Lincoln Park, Chicago. We'll go there. I see one house up here. We'll go to these Christmas lights. So, we might film the sunrise tomorrow morning. I usually film morning, noon, and night. We'll probably take off this weekend unless, if I do film the snow, it'll probably be on TikTok. So we'll do the sub only to show the crazy cold temperatures and blizzard-like conditions. Temperatures kind of drop. We might get 2 to 4 inches. We'll see. Might be nothing, might be more. Here's yeah, the nice porch here. Look at that nice Christmas tree here. Cleveland Street, Lincoln Park, Chicago. Have a good night there. I'm gonna get dinner. We'll see you tomorrow. And you love a rainy night. That's good. Our kind of town, Chicago is. Thanks everybody for being such a cool audience. Thanks to my mod team. Really chill walk here. I really appreciate it. And see why I'm enjoying YouTube here. I know a lot of people miss TikTok. We'll do it with the super chat. I'm not trying to get you to buy anything. You can still watch. You just can't comment. So just enjoy it. And we'll see you tomorrow here from Chicago. Have a good night. Stay warm. Stay human. How you doing? And we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks, mods. You guys are great. All right. 200 people. Very nice. Good night.